Hey guys, I'm Dupree, and today I'll be showing you how to rack and break in 9-ball. So, we're going to go ahead and start racking the balls. Now, the rules I'm playing by is 1 at the front, 9 in the middle, and 1's on the spot, not 9 balls on the spot. But we're not pattern racking yet. I'm going to show you what pattern racking is, and how to recognize it, and how to use it if you want to use it. But the main thing about the rack is we want pretty much everything frozen, especially the 1 ball. If the 1 ball is not frozen to these 2 balls, you will not make a wing ball. So we want every single ball touching and frozen. And you see my 1 ball is not freezing here. It's okay to sometimes give it a tap. It puts a little mark on your table, but it's not like a permanent mark. So when you see players racking for a really long time, this is what they're doing. They're looking to see if everything's frozen. Now we're going to check here. Make sure we don't have any gaps. If there's a gap behind the 9 ball will travel towards one of the corner pockets. So that's why sometimes there are rack for each other tournaments. So if the player makes the 9 ball on the break, it's kind of the racker's fault. But I like to break slow. I'm a slow breaker, and I like to break from the left side. Now if I break a few times from the left side and it's not working, I'm going to do the exact same break on the right side. So I'm just going to mimic what I did on the left side, but move my cue ball over to the right side. So I like to break from this side, not too hard, but not too soft. Now I'm going to show you a few different breaking styles, and the first one will be a softer break. Now this break right here is going to be a harder break, but what I want you to notice is that hitting harder does not necessarily mean you're going to make more balls. Hitting harder really takes away the control of your cue ball. You notice how on the last shot, on the last break, we had a perfect shot on the 1 ball and we actually ran out. But on here, if we hit a little bit harder, we may make a ball, but our cue ball control is not going to be as good. And you see, really nothing is going towards a pocket, and we don't have a shot on the 1 if something were to fall, and it just increases probability of tying stuff up. So hitting harder does not necessarily mean you're going to make more balls. The balls may spread out well, so what I like to do is I don't like to break soft because that usually leaves a bunch of balls in this area, but I like to hit at a medium pace to where everything spreads out like evenly, and I am good to control my cue ball and get it somewhere in the middle of the table for a good shot on the 1. And I have very high chances of making a wing ball if I check my rack and my rack is all the way tight. So that's breaking harder. You'll see pros smash it only if they have great cue ball control. Now I'm going to show you a break that you can use when the rack is not freezing. You cannot get the balls to touch each other. So I've racked the balls and the balls are not freezing together. We just cannot get them to freeze. We've tried racking for like 5 minutes. This ball's not freezing. The 1 ball's not completely frozen. This back ball's not frozen. But I'm not going to fix it right now because I want it to not be frozen. Just to show you this. You always want to try to get it as frozen as possible, but sometimes it just takes too long and they won't freeze. So what I like to do if that happens is I put the ball in the middle of the table. Somewhat in the middle of the table. A little bit off to the left to start. And I only do this after I've tried breaking from this side. If this side gives me nothing and this side gives me nothing, then I move to the middle. And usually I try each break like 2 times. I'll try this 2 times, I'll try that 2 times, and then I'll move on to this one. This is my 3rd resort. So I'm kind of in the middle of the table. I'm a little bit over to the right on the half diamond line. So I'm to the left of this ball, but to the right of the half diamond. and I just like to hit them full on and whack them pretty hard. I like to move my cue ball back so I can rest my hand on the rail. See, if you just smash them like that and try to get the cue ball into the middle of the table, you can get a shot on the one and you can get a ball down. And we've done both, and then we actually have a good chance of getting out here. So this could be a break and run with that little center of the table smash hit. Okay, so now we're going to talk about pattern racking and slow breaking. Now, just to explain what pattern racking is racking the balls in an order that makes it really easy to run out. So let's look at here. So first pattern rack I'm going to show you is when we're slow breaking, we're breaking really slow. This is something that Corey Duell does a lot. Now, I don't pattern rack. I find it unnecessary, and I don't like it. I feel like it's kind of like a cheat to the game, especially if you're a good player. You should try to challenge yourself. But if I'm slow breaking and pattern racking, what I do, one always has to go at the top. I put the 2 at the very bottom, and the 3 either to the left or the right, but always up above the 9. Now what this is going to do when we slow break, we're also going to make sure that everything is frozen. Every little ball must be frozen for this to work. So we're going to make sure it's all frozen. The one ball does not like to freeze with this rack. So everything must be frozen in order for this to work. And it may still not work. We may get a bit unlucky. But with this one, you don't really have to use a break cue. You can break with your playing cue. And this one, that's how slow we're breaking. If you ever watch a Corey Duell match and he's racking for himself, this is probably something you'll see him do. Now the goal is to pocket the 4 into that corner. Maybe the 1 into the side. We want to leave our cue ball somewhat in the middle of the table. We're going to cut the 1 a little bit on the left. And now what this is going to do is it's going to make the 4 here, hopefully. 1 ball's going here. Our cue ball's going to be somewhere over here. Our 2 ball is playing off the back rail and coming back up, so it's going to be near the 1 ball. And this is all by chance. This is all probable. It's what will most likely happen. It's not what will always happen. And the 3 ball is going to stay by the 9 and line up for a combination. And that is what we're hoping for, so we can just go 1 ball, 2 ball, combination, and then repeat. Now, I'm not the best at this because I don't do this. So 4 ball. We actually made 2 balls there. Our 3 ball did not stay near for the combination. But look at the out we have here. Look how easy the out is. Every ball is close to each other. The only problem is really getting from the 1 to the 2. The only hard part is making this 1 and getting on the 2. Then we have the 3 into the side, 5, 6, 8 here, 9 wherever you want. So you see how pattern racking makes the game kind of a joke. It makes it a joke. It really does. I despise pattern racking because this is such an easy out. This is the only screw up that you could make. But then we don't really have to focus for the rest of this rack. We're just running out. Now what players do, I notice Dennis or Coolio does this a lot. They rack it in a certain pattern, and I'll show you that pattern next. Well, one of those patterns is really all like preference. But Dennis or Coolio does this a lot. But they rack the balls in a pattern, and then they just practice that one pattern for hours and hours on end. So they will automatically know where the balls will go. So it's like an order thing. So I'm going to show you that pattern. The pattern that I know right now. I don't know all the patterns. It's like a preference thing. But the one that I find easy is 1 at the top, 8, 7, 3, 4, 9, 5, 6, 2. So you see all the lower number balls on one side, all the higher number balls are on the other. Again, we have to make sure that everything's frozen. I'm not going to really spend too much time on that, so we may not make a ball. I just want to show you where the balls go. So the one's going to go up there. 2 balls going to bounce off the rail, come up near the 1. 4 balls may go there. And then everything else, you'll see how it kind of lines up for an easy run-up. Hopefully, if we get the lucky break here. 4 ball, 1 ball went to the side. Look at this out right here. 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. We already have it planned. It's such a joke to the game. I really don't like it, but some players find it strategic. So I figured I'd just talk about it just a bit. This is the only hard shot right here. We have to elevate and use a lot of spin. So that may be the only mistake you could possibly make in this whole rack. But if you make that and get good on the 3, you are home free. We can run through this fast. And what I'm talking about is players will do this. They'll rack like this, and then they'll learn the patterns. They'll just shoot these patterns over and over and over again. And it gets so repetitive, and it's not fun to watch at all. Because it's like no problems come up, and everyone thinks they're such an amazing player because they can run this one pattern 10 times in a row. So now you see what some players actually do. I don't like it. I don't like how there's no problems. But that is something that happens in the game that I don't like. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like down in the like button down below. If you want to receive notifications when I post a new video, you can click the subscribe button, then the bell icon right next to it. That'll just send you an email and a notification saying that I've uploaded a new video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in